Chosen one. Pause for a moment because something significant has just shifted in the realm you cannot see with physical eyes. The fact that you are hearing these words right now is not coincidence. It is divine alignment. Heaven has a way of breaking into ordinary moments when a turning point has already begun moving beneath the surface. And Anointed One, this moment carries that exact frequency. For a long time, your journey may have felt like walking through fog, effort without applause, preparation without visible proof that anything was building. You kept showing up while doors seemed locked, and opportunities appeared just beyond your fingertips. But here is what most people miss about those quiet seasons. Silence is not always absence. Sometimes silence is where heaven clears the stage for something far greater than what you could have manufactured through force. Those hidden years were not wasted. They were foundational. There is a rhythm written into the fabric of existence itself. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1 tells us there is a season for everything, a time appointed for every purpose under heaven. And often that appointed time arrives suddenly, wrapped in an unexpected conversation, a new connection, or a powerful offer that appears when you stopped desperately searching for it. The irony is that breakthrough often finds you the moment you stop chasing it and simply commit to being faithful in the present. What is approaching you now is not simply another opportunity. It is a revelation moment, one that will show you how much has already been prepared within you while you thought nothing was happening. Someone carrying real influence is about to recognize what others walked past. A door will open that once seemed invisible to you, locked by circumstances you could not control. And the question will not be whether the door exists. The question is whether you are ready to walk through it with the full weight of who you have become, carrying everything you learned in the wilderness seasons without apology or hesitation. This recognition will feel different from anything you have experienced before. It will not be someone giving you charity or doing you a favor. It will be someone seeing value, seeing potential, seeing the return on investment that your character and preparation represent. They will not be lifting you up out of pity. They will be positioning you strategically because they recognize what you carry. If this resonates with where you are right now, go ahead and tap that like button. Not for me, but as a declaration that you are ready to receive what has been prepared for you. Chosen one, there is something you need to understand about the way breakthrough moments actually arrive. The events that redirect the entire trajectory of a life rarely show up with fireworks and announcements. They often appear quietly, almost disguised as ordinary days, until suddenly everything tilts. One conversation, one introduction, one moment where someone sees you differently than everyone else has. What many people call luck is rarely luck at all. What appears as sudden breakthrough is usually the visible result of years of invisible preparation that unfolded when no one was watching. Think about the seasons you walked through that felt slow, uncertain, even discouraging. Days when you worked faithfully but felt invisible. Moments when doors stayed closed while you watched others advance. But heaven has a completely different perspective on those hidden years. What felt like delay was actually development. What felt like being overlooked was preparation for being overseen by the right people at the right time. The qualities built during those years become the very reason a powerful opportunity eventually finds you instead of you having to chase it down. There is a reason certain people capture the attention of those who carry influence. It is not always the loudest voice or the most polished presentation. Those who operate in true authority tend to watch quietly before they speak. They observe how people respond when pressure increases. They notice who remains steady when recognition is absent. They see who continues building, learning, and growing even when the outcome is uncertain. These patterns reveal something deeper than ability. They reveal character, and character is the currency that opens doors most people never even know exist. You may not realize it yet, but someone has been watching the pattern of your life more closely than you think. They have noticed the consistency in how you carry yourself. They have seen how you respond when things do not go according to plan. They have watched how you handle responsibility even when the role itself was not glamorous. These details communicate louder than credentials and louder than polished words. And at the right moment, those quiet observations lead to something powerful. An offer that feels larger than anything you were expecting. Now imagine this scene with me for a moment. Anointed one. You are moving through a regular day, focused on your current responsibilities. Perhaps you are still proving yourself in a space that has not fully recognized your potential. Perhaps you are still building something slowly while wondering when your real opportunity will arrive. And then a conversation begins. At first it feels ordinary, just another exchange of words. But slowly the tone shifts. You begin to realize the person speaking to you carries a level of influence you did not initially recognize. Their questions go deeper than surface curiosity. Their interest in your journey feels intentional. Then something unexpected happens. They begin describing a possibility, not a small task. Something larger, something that stretches far beyond the place you currently see yourself standing. And in that moment, your mind begins racing because the opportunity feels both exhilarating and overwhelming at the same time. Excitement whispers that this could be the breakthrough you have been preparing for. The moment when everything shifts from waiting to walking, from hoping to experiencing. But another voice immediately starts asking difficult questions. What if you are not ready? What if this opportunity exposes gaps you have not filled yet? What if you step into this and cannot sustain the weight of it? What if you fail publicly instead of privately? What if this reveals that you were not as prepared as you thought? If you have felt that internal conflict before, that war between excitement and self-doubt, type the word "ready" in the comments. Because this tension is more common than most people admit. And recognizing it is the first step to moving past it. Chosen one. Many individuals who step into the greatest opportunities of their lives experience this exact moment of hesitation right before everything changes. It is a strange pattern in human nature. A person can spend years building strength, learning lessons through setbacks, developing resilience through struggle. Yet when the moment of recognition finally arrives, when someone actually sees what they have been building and wants to invest in it, doubt sometimes shows up first, asking whether you truly belong in the position now being offered. It is like training for a race for years, then questioning whether you should run when the starting line finally appears in front of you. The preparation happened, the growth occurred, but the visibility of the moment creates a new kind of pressure that feels different from the quiet discipline of hidden seasons. But here is what you must remember. And this is critical. When someone with genuine influence extends an opportunity, they are rarely looking only at what you can do today. They are looking at trajectory, at potential, at what you can become tomorrow. They are recognizing something in you that may still feel unfamiliar, even to yourself. Qualities that are more developed than you realize because you have been too close to your own process. To see the transformation clearly, and sometimes that is exactly why the opportunity feels so intense, so stretching, because it requires you to step beyond the version of yourself you have grown accustomed to seeing. Beyond the limitations you internalized, beyond the ceiling you unconsciously accepted. The truth is, that powerful opportunities are rarely designed to keep you comfortable. They are designed to grow you, to stretch you, to pull capabilities out of you that would have remained dormant in a smaller environment. They introduce new environments, new expectations, and new levels of responsibility that require you to become a different version of yourself than you were yesterday. To think bigger, to operate with greater intention, to make decisions that affect outcomes beyond your immediate circle. And this is where many people step back, not because they lack ability, but because the unfamiliar weight of the moment makes them question themselves, makes them focus on everything they have not done instead of everything they have become. The gap between where they are and where the opportunity would place them feels too wide, too uncertain, too risky. Yet the individuals who step forward during these moments understand something crucial. They realize that readiness does not always mean having every answer before you begin. Readiness often means being willing to learn, adapt, and rise through the process itself, trusting that the same faithfulness that brought them this far will carry them into what comes next. Growth rarely happens inside the boundaries of comfort. It happens when someone decides that the opportunity in front of them is greater than the fear inside them. When someone chooses to trust the process of becoming over the safety of staying. There is another dimension to this moment that most people do not see at first glance. When an influential person offers you access to a greater opportunity, they are not simply handing you a position or opening a door as a favor. They are placing a level of trust in you, investing their own credibility and reputation in your potential. They are saying, in their own way, that they believe you can grow into the responsibility being placed before you, that you have what it takes to steward this well. That trust is not given carelessly or randomly. It is built through patterns observed over time, through watching how someone carries themselves when no reward is attached to the effort. Think about the challenges you faced that once felt unfair. The times when you did the right thing and it cost you something, when you maintained integrity and it seemed like that choice left you behind while others who cut corners moved ahead. The moments when you were underestimated, overlooked, or misunderstood by people who should have recognized your value. The seasons when progress seemed slower than you hoped. When doors closed that should have opened, when opportunities went to people less qualified, simply because they had better connections or louder voices. At the time, those experiences may have felt like obstacles blocking your path, like evidence that the system was not fair, like proof that hard work and character did not actually matter in the real world. But now you can begin to see them from a different angle, from the perspective that heaven holds. They were shaping your judgment, teaching you to evaluate situations with wisdom instead of reacting with emotion, strengthening your patience, developing your ability to wait for the right moment instead of forcing the wrong door, teaching you how to respond rather than react, how to protect your peace while navigating difficulty, how to remain grounded when circumstances tried to shake you. These qualities are exactly what someone with discernment recognizes when they are looking for the right person to invest in, to position strategically, to trust with greater responsibility. They are not looking for someone who has never faced adversity. They are looking for someone who has faced it and came through it with their character intact. Chosen one, as this opportunity approaches, you will need to make a decision about how you will respond, not just with words, but with your entire posture toward what is being offered. Because the way you receive this moment will determine how far it can carry you, how much fruit it produces, how deeply it transforms your trajectory. There is a pattern I have watched unfold many times across different lives and different circumstances. When opportunity presents itself, some people immediately focus on what they might lose if it does not work out. They calculate risk before they calculate possibility. They measure worst-case scenarios before they consider best outcomes. They see all the ways it could fail before they imagine any of the ways it could succeed. This posture is understandable. It comes from past disappointment, from times when hope led to letdown, from moments when stepping forward resulted in falling flat. But it is also limiting. It keeps people standing at the edge of breakthrough while never actually stepping into it. But there is another response, a different way to meet these moments, a response rooted in something deeper than immediate calculation or past pain. It is the response that asks different questions, not what could go wrong, but what becomes possible if this unfolds the way heaven intended it to unfold. Not whether I deserve this, but whether I am willing to steward this faithfully with everything I have learned. Not whether I have earned this through perfection, but whether I am ready to grow into this through commitment. Proverbs 18 verse 16 says, "A person's gift makes room for them and brings them before great people." Notice the verse does not say talent alone, skill alone, or connections alone. It says gift, which implies something given, something entrusted, something meant to be developed and shared, not hoarded or hidden. Your gift has been making room for you even during the years when it felt like nothing was moving forward in visible ways. The discipline you maintained when no one was watching, when results were not appearing, was creating space in dimensions you could not see with physical eyes. The integrity you protected when cutting corners would have been easier, when compromise seemed more practical, was building credibility in rooms you had not entered yet, with people who had not met you yet. And now, as this opportunity surfaces, all of that preparation is about to be recognized in ways you may not have anticipated. Before we continue, I want to take a moment to speak to those of you who have found value in these messages. Creating this content, spending time in prayer and reflection over the words that might speak to your exact season. This is not just a casual effort, it is a calling. And for those who feel led to support this work, to help us continue creating these reflections and sharing them with people who are walking through moments just like yours, there is a way to do that through the link in the description. Your support is not just financial contribution. It becomes part of someone else's breakthrough moment. It helps these messages reach the person who needs to hear them at exactly the right time. That is a beautiful way to participate in what heaven is doing, to be part of the process that encourages and equips others in their journey. If you feel a stirring to give, even something small, know that it matters more than you realize. Anointed one, as this new chapter begins to open, you will also need to develop a new level of discernment, because when one significant door opens, other doors will appear as well. Some will be aligned with your path, genuinely connected to the direction heaven is taking you. Others will look attractive on the surface, but lead away from where you are meant to go. Distractions disguised as opportunities. Not every open door is the right door. Not every invitation deserves a yes. Not every opportunity aligns with your calling just because it appears in front of you. This is where discernment becomes crucial, not just helpful, but essential. Discernment allows you to recognize which invitations are meant for you and which are simply passing distractions, which doors lead toward your purpose and which ones would consume your time and energy without producing lasting fruit. It allows you to see beyond immediate gain and evaluate long-term impact, beyond what looks impressive to others and toward what actually aligns with who you are becoming. This kind of clarity is rare in a world that celebrates busyness, that applauds saying yes to everything, that measures success by how many opportunities you can juggle at once. But you have been developing this discernment through everything you have already walked through the times when you had to choose between what was convenient and what was right, between what looked good and what felt aligned. The opportunity approaching you is not merely about advancement or elevation. It is about positioning you in environments where your ideas matter and your voice carries weight. Positioning you in conversations where your perspective influences outcomes. Positioning you in moments where the decisions you make can shape results far beyond your own life, affecting people you may never meet, opening doors for others who are coming behind you. But before this new chapter fully unfolds, there is one final realization that must settle in your spirit. One truth that needs to anchor itself deep within you. The offer that is coming toward you will not only change your direction, it will reveal the full measure of the person you were always meant to become. The version of yourself that was being formed through every trial, every setback, every season of preparation. Sometimes the greatest revelation of opportunity is not what it gives you, but what it awakens inside you, what it calls out, what it makes visible that was hidden even from your own eyes. Because when a person steps into a moment prepared by heaven, they begin to see themselves differently. The doubts that once seemed convincing start losing their power, their grip, their ability to define what you believe is possible. The limitations that once felt permanent begin to dissolve like mist in sunlight. The ceiling you accepted as reality starts to lift, and you realize that the path you have walked, every delay that frustrated you, every lesson that cost you something, every quiet season that felt unproductive, all of it was shaping you for this exact point in time, building capacity you did not know you needed. There is something powerful about the moment when preparation meets revelation. It is the moment when you recognize you are no longer standing in the same place you once were. You have grown in ways that were not always obvious while they were happening. Your judgment has matured through decisions you had to make without perfect information. Your patience has deepened through seasons when waiting was the only option available. Your understanding of purpose has expanded beyond what you once imagined was possible for your life. This realization changes the way you approach the opportunity in front of you. Instead of asking whether you belong in the room, you begin asking how you can serve the vision that brought you there. Instead of wondering whether you are ready, you begin focusing on how faithfully you can steward what has been entrusted to you. Instead of measuring yourself against where you were yesterday, you begin aligning yourself with where heaven is taking you tomorrow. This shift in perspective is where transformation becomes visible, where internal change starts manifesting in external reality. People will notice something different about you as this season unfolds. It will not necessarily be loud or dramatic. It may simply appear as a quiet confidence in the way you carry yourself, not arrogance or superiority, but a settled assurance that you belong exactly where you are. A steadiness in the way you speak, even when addressing people who once intimidated you or made you feel small. A clarity in the way you approach decisions that once felt uncertain, like you have access to a level of wisdom that was not there before. Confidence rooted in purpose has a unique presence. It does not demand attention or require validation, yet it naturally draws respect. It does not need to prove itself constantly, yet people recognize authority when they encounter it. But remember something important as this new chapter begins to unfold. The offer you receive is not the final destination. It is not the end of your journey or the completion of your purpose. It is the doorway into a longer journey that will continue shaping you, refining you, developing you long after the initial excitement of the opportunity settles into daily reality. There will be moments of challenge ahead, situations that require wisdom rather than speed, patience rather than quick reactions. Conversations where listening becomes more important than speaking, where understanding matters more than being understood. Decisions that must balance courage with prudence, boldness with wisdom, vision with practical execution. These moments are not obstacles trying to stop your progress. They are part of the refinement process that transforms opportunity into lasting impact, that turns potential into actualized influence, that converts a moment into a movement. Scripture reflects this journey beautifully. In Proverbs 16 verse 3, "Commit your work to the Lord, and your plans will be established." Notice carefully that the verse speaks about commitment, not just initial enthusiasm or momentary decision. Commitment is not a single choice made once in a moment of inspiration. It is a posture of the heart carried through many seasons, through the exciting moments and the mundane ones, through the times when results are visible and the times when progress feels invisible. Your commitment to growth, to integrity, to purpose. This will continue guiding you through the environments you are about to enter. And as you walk through those environments with that same faithfulness that brought you this far, you will begin to see something remarkable unfold. Something that extends beyond your personal success or individual advancement. The influence placed in your hands will begin creating opportunities not only for you but for others. Your decisions will open doors for people who were once standing where you stood, who are watching your journey the same way someone once watched yours before recognizing your potential. Your leadership, even if informal at first, will shape environments where new ideas can breathe, where new vision can take root, where new possibilities can flourish instead of being dismissed or overlooked. This is how true impact multiplies. It begins with one individual who is willing to step forward when the moment calls them to rise, who is willing to grow through the discomfort of expansion, who is willing to carry responsibility without demanding credit. And then that individual creates space for others to rise as well. The offer approaching your life carries that kind of potential, that kind of reach. It may start with a conversation that seems simple, an invitation that appears straightforward, or a decision that feels manageable on the surface. But its ripple effect will extend far beyond what can be seen in the beginning, far beyond what you can predict or calculate in the moment. That is why this moment matters so deeply. Not just because of what it means for your immediate circumstances, but because the direction you choose now, the posture you adopt, the faith you demonstrate. All of this will influence the story you are about to write with your life and the stories of those whose lives will intersect with yours. You can step forward with hesitation, focusing only on the uncertainties that lie ahead, fixating on everything that could go wrong, replaying past failures in your mind as evidence that this might fail too. Or you can step forward with awareness, with eyes wide open to both the challenges and the possibilities, recognizing that every meaningful chapter of growth begins with a decision to move, even when the entire path is not yet visible, even when some questions remain unanswered. The opportunity approaching you is not random. It is not accidental. It is not lucky timing. It is the result of preparation meeting the appointed moment, the recognition of character formed through seasons of quiet discipline that no one saw but heaven recorded. It is the opening of a door that once seemed distant, locked, impossible to access, but now stands directly in front of you, waiting for one simple response. And as that door opens, as the opportunity becomes tangible, instead of theoretical, heaven is asking one simple question. Will you rise to meet the moment that has been prepared for you? Will you step into the fullness of who you have been becoming? Will you trust that the same divine timing that brought you here will carry you through what comes next? Remember this as you step forward into the days ahead. The reason someone with influence recognized you was never just about talent or skill or credentials. Talent can be found everywhere. Resumes can be polished. Skills can be learned. What truly stands out, what captures the attention of those who carry real authority, is the quiet strength you carried through changing seasons, through disappointment and delay, through moments when giving up would have been easier than pressing forward. The discipline to keep improving when no one was applauding, when results were not immediate, when progress felt invisible. The steadiness to remain faithful when outcomes were uncertain, when the path ahead was unclear, when others around you were compromising or quitting. The integrity to keep building without constant validation, without external pressure, without guaranteed outcomes. These qualities created something powerful within you: credibility. And credibility is something those who carry real influence recognize immediately. They have learned through their own journey that talent without character is unstable, that skill without integrity is unreliable, that potential without faithfulness is wasted. But Anointed One, as this new chapter begins, stay aware and stay grounded. Opportunities bring visibility, and visibility sometimes invites voices that were never present during your preparation, voices that suddenly have opinions about decisions they know nothing about. Some may question your choices, others may doubt your readiness, some may even project their own fears onto your situation, warning you about risks they see through the lens of their own limitations. Yet none of those voices determine your path. None of those opinions define what is possible for you. What matters is the foundation built within you during the seasons when no one was watching. Protect that quiet confidence, that settled assurance. Not arrogance or pride, but the steady belief that what was built within you, the character that was formed, the wisdom that was developed, none of it can be shaken by outside noise or second-hand doubt. The opportunity that once seemed overwhelming was never meant to break you. It was meant to reveal the strength already forming inside you. This is your moment. A time heaven prepared long before you recognized it. If this message has stirred something in your spirit, leave the number 777 in the comments as a declaration of faith. And if you feel led, subscribe so you do not miss future messages meant for your journey. The shift has already begun. Chosen One, walk into it with the full weight of everything you have become.